The internet is on fire right now, and Chrissy is at the center of it all. What started as a simple rumor exploded overnight into chaos. Fake baby news, breakup allegations, and screenshots that had everyone convinced her entire life was falling apart. But tonight, Chrissy is fighting back. After days of silence, she's finally speaking, and what she just revealed has completely flipped the story upside down. The so-called receipts the blogs were posting, not what they seem. The viral ultrasound? A total setup. And the truth about her relationship? Way more complicated than anyone guessed. Fans are stunned, the haters are scrambling, and the internet doesn't know who to believe anymore. This isn't just another rumor. This is Chrissy reclaiming her name. Stay tuned because the lies are about to unravel one by one. The internet moves fast, but this time it moved faster than anyone could have imagined. One minute, Chrissy was posting pictures of her normal life. Smiling selfies, a brand collaboration, a dinner date. And the next, her name was trending with a headline no one saw coming. Chrissy pregnant? Breakup confirmed? The rumor spread like wildfire. One post turned into 10 turned into hundreds. Within hours, gossip blogs, reaction pages, and even verified influencers were reposting the same thing. That Chrissy was hiding a pregnancy, that her relationship had ended in betrayal, and that the man she'd loved for years had moved on. It didn't matter that none of it was confirmed. The screenshots looked real. The stories sounded believable. And the internet doesn't wait for facts. It runs on feelings. People wanted drama and they got it. Fans began arguing under every post. Some said Chrissy had been acting differently lately. Others claimed they'd seen this coming. A few even said they had insider info. But the worst part? Someone leaked an image that appeared to be an ultrasound, claiming it was Chrissy's. That was the moment everything spiraled. At first, Chrissy didn't react. She stayed quiet, no posts, no comments, no denial. But that silence only fueled the flames. People mistook her peace for guilt. The gossip pages started adding fuel, saying things like, "If it wasn't true, why isn't she saying anything? Chrissy's been MIA, something's up." By the end of the week, even major entertainment blogs were covering it as if it were fact. Headlines read, "Chrissy expecting? Fans spot baby clues in recent photos. Breakup confirmed. Sources say she's heartbroken and alone." The lies had become the truth in people's eyes. Behind the scenes, though, Chrissy's world was falling apart. Friends stopped calling. Brand deals were put on hold. Her team advised her to let it pass. But she couldn't just sit there watching her name get dragged through the mud. She was angry, not just at the people spreading lies, but at how fast people believed them. People she'd known for years, fans who'd supported her, even family members who called asking if it was true. All because of a few fake screenshots. It got worse when a certain insider, someone who claimed to be close to Chrissy, told a gossip page that her relationship had ended because of trust issues. They said her partner had walked out after discovering she'd been hiding things. That so-called insider wasn't a stranger. It was someone Chrissy had once trusted completely, a person she'd shared secrets, photos, and late-night conversations with. And now that person was selling stories. The betrayal hit deep. Still, Chrissy stayed silent. She didn't rant. She didn't post. She just watched. Because while the internet was busy judging her, she was collecting proof. Screenshots, messages, timestamps, everything she'd need to clear her name later. But the internet doesn't wait for later. Days turned into weeks. Every post she made, no matter how innocent, was dissected. If she wore a baggy hoodie, people said she was hiding the baby bump. If she smiled too hard, people said she was pretending to be happy. Even when she uploaded a picture of a smoothie, comments flooded in, "Is that for the baby? Why don't you just tell the truth?" It was endless. And then came the ultimate blow, a leaked voice note that supposedly featured Chrissy crying and admitting everything. It sounded like her. The tone, the phrasing, everything matched. It went viral overnight. But what no one knew was that the voice note was fake. An AI-generated clone of her voice, stitched together from old podcast clips. A lie dressed up as evidence. Still, by the time people questioned it, the damage was done. The rumor had already rewritten her reality. Chrissy started losing followers, sponsors backed away, and some of her closest friends stopped answering calls. It was a modern witch hunt, built on pixels and assumptions. Behind closed doors, she broke down. She stopped sleeping, stopped eating, stopped trusting. Every notification made her heart race. Every ding from her phone felt like another dagger. But one night changed everything. While scrolling through one of the many posts about her, she noticed something strange. The ultrasound photo that started the chaos had a faint watermark at the bottom corner. Most people missed it, but she didn't. It wasn't her name. It wasn't her clinic. It was a random username, one that didn't belong to her. Curious, she searched for that name. It led her to an old Pinterest post from 2019 featuring the exact same image. That was her proof. The ultrasound was fake. Her mind started racing. If that was fabricated, what else was? Over the next few days, she pieced everything together like a puzzle. Every screenshot, every timestamp, every rumor thread. And what she found was shocking. Dozens of fake accounts all spreading the same lies, all posting within minutes of each other. It wasn't random. It was coordinated. Someone was behind it, and they wanted her destroyed. She traced one of the accounts through an email recovery link. When the name popped up, her stomach dropped. It was familiar. Painfully familiar. It was that same friend. The one who'd been feeding gossip pages. The one who acted concerned when Chrissy stopped posting. The one who had all her private photos and personal details. That's when Chrissy's silence ended. She reached out to her legal team. She started contacting platforms to flag misinformation. She documented everything, the fake ultrasound, the edited screenshots, even the AI voice note, because she knew the time to stay quiet was over. And when she finally broke her silence, she wasn't going to do it through a subtweet or a teary Instagram story. No, she was going to do it the right way, with receipts. The internet thought they'd already written her story, but Chrissy was about to flip the script. Behind the scenes, she began preparing her official response, not just for the fans, but for every person who played a part in tearing her down. She knew the truth, and she was ready to show it. The woman they thought was broken was about to become unstoppable. Because when you've lost everything, your peace, your privacy, your reputation, the only thing left to lose is fear. And Chrissy? She wasn't afraid anymore. She was ready to expose every lie, every fake friend, every fabricated receipt. She was ready to reclaim her name. To be continued, when Chrissy finally decided to speak, she didn't come out swinging with anger or tears. She came out calm, controlled, and terrifyingly prepared. The day before her response, she posted one short message on her story. Silence isn't weakness. It's strategy. That single sentence broke the internet. People started guessing what she meant. Some said she was finally ready to confess. Others claimed she was about to spin the narrative. But those who truly knew her understood one thing. Chrissy doesn't. And when the clock struck 8 p.m. the next night, she dropped what everyone had been waiting for, a 30-minute video titled Setting the Record Straight. It opened with no dramatic music. No filter, just Chrissy sitting in a chair, looking directly at the camera. Her first words were simple. Let's start with the truth. The tone in her voice was steady, but her eyes told a story of exhaustion and strength all at once. For weeks, I've watched lies about me turn into headlines, she said. I've watched people I love sell stories about me, and I stayed quiet because I needed to be sure. But now I'm done. The internet collectively held its breath. She went on to explain everything: the fake ultrasound, the edited messages, the betrayal from her former friend. She didn't name names, but the details were specific enough that everyone knew who she meant. She held up printed screenshots, each one highlighted and dated, showing exactly how the lies began. This, she said, holding up one of the posts that claimed she was pregnant, was made using an image from Pinterest. The same picture was uploaded in 2019 under another person's name. That's not my body, not my baby, not my life. The chat section exploded. Thousands of comments poured in every second. She brought receipts. This is wild. She's clearing her name. And she wasn't done. Chrissy clicked through to another slide, showing the so-called breakup texts that had gone viral. They were screenshots of a conversation between her and her partner that had supposedly proved the relationship ended. Except, she said, pointing at the timestamp, this message was sent before the one that's supposed to come after it. Whoever edited this didn't even bother to check the order. She smirked slightly, not out of arrogance, but because she knew the lies were finally collapsing. She continued, you can manipulate screenshots, you can clone voices, but you can't fake consistency. Every single lie told about me is built on digital dust. That line hit hard. Even the biggest gossip pages that had been pushing her downfall went quiet for a moment. For the first time in weeks, people were realizing how easy it is to fake a story and how fast the internet will believe it. Then came the part no one expected. Chrissy leaned forward and said, the person who leaked these stories wasn't a stranger. It was someone I trusted. Someone who knew my passwords, my photos, my private moments. And yes, they got paid for it. She didn't name them, but everyone knew who she meant. The camera stayed close on her face, and you could see her holding back emotion, not tears. Control. Imagine sharing your life with someone and then finding out they're the one trying to ruin it, she said quietly. But I guess that's what happens when loyalty becomes a transaction. That quote went instantly viral. Within minutes, people began tweeting it, turning it into memes, wallpapers, and TikToks. Loyalty becomes a transaction became the most repeated phrase online that night. But Chrissy wasn't looking for pity. She wanted accountability. Halfway through the video, she showed emails between the gossip page and her so-called friend. The emails discussed exclusive details about Chrissy's personal life and included proof of payment. The subject line read, "Baby update." That was the proof she needed to end the speculation for good. "They sold me out for $500, she said, looking straight into the camera. "And for $500, people called me a liar, a cheater, and worse. But what they didn't realize is that the truth always costs more." The comment section erupted again. Fans who had once doubted her flooded back with apologies. "We're sorry, Chrissy. You didn't deserve this. This internet stuff is evil." It was chaos, but this time, chaos in her favor. And still, she wasn't finished. The final portion of the video revealed something even deeper. She brought up the infamous voice note, the one that supposedly proved her guilt. "This is not me," she said firmly. "It was created using AI. Technology has made it easy to make lies sound real. But I hired an expert to analyze it." She held up the report from a forensic audio specialist, confirming the clip was artificially generated. "So next time you hear something online," she said, "ask yourself, does it sound real or does it just sound like what you want to believe?" That question echoed across social media. Influencers started reposting it. Tech experts commented on how terrifyingly real AI audio can sound. Suddenly, Chrissy wasn't just clearing her name, she was starting a bigger conversation. When the video ended, she simply said, "Thank you to the people who didn't give up on me. For the rest, just watch." Then she logged off. Within an hour, her video hit 1 million views. Hashtags shifted from "Much Chrissy lied" to "Mar Chrissy cleared." The same blogs that had once mocked her were now backtracking, deleting posts, and turning off comments. The internet had turned. For the first time in weeks, Chrissy was winning again. Her calm, her poise, and her evidence changed everything. But even as the public started apologizing, she wasn't satisfied. She wasn't just going to clear her name, she was going to set a precedent. Because if they could do it to her, they could do it to anyone. Behind the scenes, her lawyer began preparing documents. Defamation, privacy breach, and online harassment, every charge that could apply, she wanted it filed. She wasn't just reclaiming her image. She was demanding justice. While social media celebrated her comeback, Chrissy was already moving like a strategist, planning her next move. She reached out to major platforms to push for new rules around digital impersonation. She partnered with a cyber defense group to track down the fake accounts that spread the lies. And she didn't stop there. She started a new project, a campaign to help public figures and influencers fight misinformation, something she called proof over popularity. The goal wasn't fame. It was accountability. By the end of the week, her video had crossed 5 million views. Major outlets that had ignored her before now wanted interviews. People were calling her a digital warrior, a reputation survivor, even a queen of receipts. And while she appreciated the support, Chrissy stayed grounded. She wasn't celebrating yet because the fight wasn't over. The internet moves on quickly, but she wasn't about to let this story fade. There was still one person she needed to confront, the friend who started it all. Because while the truth had gone public, the betrayal was still personal. And for Chrissy, justice wasn't complete until that betrayal was faced head-on. She had the emails, the fake accounts, and now the legal power to expose it all. The world had heard her side, but what she was about to reveal next would take the story from scandal to reckoning. To be continued? Chrissy's video had already shaken the internet, but what came next would turn the entire situation into a full-blown reckoning. Days after her truth bomb exploded online, everyone waited to see what she would do next. The blogs were quiet, the haters had vanished, and even the person who betrayed her stayed completely silent. But Chrissy wasn't done, not by a long shot. Early one morning, she posted a black screen on her story with 3 words, "Now it's personal." That sent shockwaves through social media. Within minutes, everyone started speculating that she was finally about to expose the person behind the lies. And they were right. That same night, she went live again, but this time it wasn't calm or composed. This was Chrissy in her rawest form, a woman who had been pushed too far. She started by thanking her supporters for standing by her through the chaos. But then she took a deep breath and said, "I tried to handle this privately. I gave myself chances. I stayed quiet out of respect. But that's over now." She reached for her phone, scrolled through her files, and pulled up an email thread labeled Evidence. The audience of over 200,000 people watched in silence as she read the name of the person who betrayed her. Someone who had once been in her house, shared her secrets, laughed in her face while plotting behind her back. The chat exploded. Fans couldn't believe it. "No way! Not her! That's wild!" But Chrissy wasn't ranting, she was factual. Every claim she made came with proof. She showed the Cash App payments, the messages, the plan to sell her private photos to the blogs. She revealed that the person had even created fake fan pages to spread rumors, pretending to be random followers. "You didn't just betray me," Chrissy said, voice trembling but strong. "You built an entire lie around me for clout." The internet couldn't look away. It wasn't just drama anymore, it was digital warfare. Chrissy played a voice recording of the friend laughing about how easy it was to make people believe anything online. That clip alone broke TikTok records in less than an hour. Influencers everywhere began using her story as a warning about the dangers of fake narratives and internet manipulation. But while fans were cheering her on, Chrissy wasn't celebrating. Her eyes said it all. This wasn't satisfaction, it was exhaustion. "I didn't want to be the example," she said. "But if this helps even one person protect themselves, then it's worth it." Then she dropped the final bombshell: the legal documents. She showed that her lawyer had officially filed a lawsuit for defamation, invasion of privacy, and emotional distress. "You thought I'd just post and move on?" she said coldly. "No, this is real life. Actions have consequences." The internet exploded with applause. The same pages that had mocked her weeks earlier now reposted her with captions like, "Chrissy wins again," and "Don't mess with receipts." But behind the viral moments was something deeper. Chrissy had completely shifted how people viewed online drama. For once, the truth was trending more than the lies. She used her platform to explain how easily people can be manipulated by screenshots, audio clips, and fake DMs. "It's too easy to destroy someone's reputation with one tap," she said. "But rebuilding it takes courage, proof, and patience." That message resonated far beyond her fan base. Even major influencers started referencing her case as an example of standing up to digital defamation. Some called her brave, others called her ruthless, but everyone agreed she was unstoppable. Over the next few days, the lawsuit documents went public, and the person she exposed completely disappeared from social media. Their accounts vanished, comments were locked, and suddenly the same gossip pages that had once promoted their lies started issuing public apologies. "We regret spreading misinformation about Chrissy," one blog wrote. Another admitted they'd been manipulated by false submissions. For the first time, an influencer had turned the tables on the media. And Chrissy knew exactly how powerful that was. "I'm not just clearing my name," she said in her next post. "I'm changing the game." She began collaborating with lawyers, digital forensics experts, and publicists to create workshops on online safety and image control. What began as a scandal had now evolved into a movement. Fans started using hashtags like #HeartProofOverPopularity and BelieveFactsNotBlogs. People who had once been victims of false stories started messaging her, thanking her for inspiring them to speak out. One follower wrote, "You gave me courage to fight back when they lied about me." Another said, "You reminded me that silence isn't weakness." Chrissy shared those messages with pride, but also with humility. "This wasn't about revenge," she told her followers. "This was about reclaiming peace." And that's when everything came full circle. She posted a final video, not defensive, not angry, just reflective. It opened with her walking through the same park she'd been photographed crying in weeks earlier, the same photos the blogs had used to prove her heartbreak. But this time she smiled. "I learned something through all this," she said. "People will believe what fits their story, not yours. So make sure your truth is louder than their lies." The music swelled softly behind her voice, and the screen faded to black with her final words. Reputation doesn't define you. Reaction does. That quote alone went viral again, being shared across every major platform. Even celebrities reposted it, calling her a survivor of social media warfare. Within hours, Chrissy's follower count skyrocketed, and brands that had distanced themselves before were now begging to work with her again. But more than the fame or the numbers, what mattered to Chrissy was that she'd won on her own terms. No PR spin, no manager-crafted apology, or just truth, strength, and receipts. The story that began as a scandal ended as a symbol of empowerment. Yet in her closing livestream, she left fans with one haunting reminder. "Don't think it's over," she said, eyes steady on the camera. "This happens to someone new every day. And next time, it might not be me. It might be you." The screen went silent after that, and the comment section filled with messages of respect, support, and disbelief. The internet for once didn't know what to say. Chrissy had not only cleared her name, she had exposed the machine behind the rumors. Her journey became a blueprint for anyone facing digital destruction. It wasn't just about clapping back, it was about reclaiming your narrative. And as her video closed with one final image, a simple quote that read, "Truth always wins," the world knew one thing for sure. Chrissy wasn't a victim of drama anymore. She was the storm that ended it. And there you have it, the truth, raw and undeniable. Chrissy didn't just survive the rumors. She dismantled them,